My name is Vahid Pooryousef, PhD candidate at Monash University in Melbourne, Australia. Here, I'm presenting our study about the understanding of opportunities and challenges of mixed reality digital autopsies. This presentation includes photos of autopsy procedures, which may be distressing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Mixed reality and other immersive technologies offer opportunities such as mobility, free hand gestures, embodied interaction with life-size models, as well as a 360-degree view. These capabilities have found many applications in clinical medicine, from anatomy training to surgery. In this work, we demonstrate through a user-centered design process with forensic professionals that there are unique opportunities to support the sense-making process in digital autopsy scenarios. There are a handful of preliminary studies of MR in autopsy. However, current approaches consist of using window visualization of CT slices in mixed reality. To facilitate adoption in real-world autopsy workflows, we need to develop integrated systems with more sophisticated capabilities. To do this effectively, we need to work closely with domain experts to properly understand their needs and for them to understand the possibilities offered by MR, both now and in the future. Therefore, we conducted a rigorous user-centered design approach consisting of 4 phases of user feedback and evaluation involving 15 participants plus 3 prototyping phases. In the following slide, we'll take a closer look at each of these phases. We started with individual interviews of forensic experts. No prototype or demo were shown to them at this stage to ensure that participants could objectively identify challenges and tasks without being influenced by preconceived possibilities or limitations of technology. Feedback from these interviews, coupled with our literature review, allowed us to identify procedures and challenges for the initial prototype. For example, some of the most important activities are identifying trauma and fractures through CT imagery in combination with physical examination and dissection. Challenges include difficulty accessing materials such as police reports from inside the mortuary and the need to remove gloves to take notes or use computers. Inspired by the feedback from our first interviews, we created an initial prototype of an MR autopsy system. The key features that it demonstrated were an integrated platform for exploring CT slice imagery with a 3D visualization of the body. We created novel interface elements to support mid-air hand gestures, to place cutting planes, as well as to control the lighting and to explore medical and police reports in situ. After developing our prototype, we ran an exploratory workshop with 2 objectives. Firstly, we sought feedback on our prototype, including use cases, potential improvements, and limitations. Secondly, we aim to evaluate the effectiveness of a co-designed approach for this technology and domain. During the workshop, we showcased several video demonstrations and provided participants with the opportunity to try a live demo and use our prototype with a Microsoft HoloLens 2. In this workshop, participants identified potential use cases for our prototype, including easy access to information inside mortuary and integrated system for forensic settings. They also provide suggestions for additional tools to analyze CT images and access to all forensic data. Some difficulties mainly related to the HoloLens were also mentioned. In terms of the workshop's second objective, we found that participants with limited XR experience have trouble ideating use cases. Therefore, our user-centered XR design process leans heavily on prototyping. Therefore, for our next prototype, we implemented a variety of techniques exploring different styles of interactions and visualizations, including 3D manipulation of data in the second prototype. These techniques are: first, color tunneling, which is used to examine internal organs, while the outer layers are pushed away temporarily. We use numerous embodied interactions, utilizing distinct actions for the left and right hands. Cutting shape, which allows for flexible selection or isolation of organs for detailed and unobstructed inspection. Eraser, which allows experts to remove tissues or artifacts to better view the target area. Because precise selection has been found to be challenging in MR, we also present zoomable slider to alleviate the issue and offer enhanced precision when selecting slides or cutting planes. To assess whether forensic practitioners can effectively use these novel techniques, we conducted a user study to evaluate our prototypes. We identified a variety of strengths and weaknesses with each of these techniques. Particularly, the color tunnel technique was a favorite, as it allowed them to see internal tissues while preserving surrounding tissue, which was described by one participant as being like digital dissection. They described a number of potential applications for such techniques, from using it during the autopsies in mortuary to demonstrations to the court or teaching. Again, most of the limitations were related to the technology being used by the HoloLens 2. They also suggested to have the ability to measure different parameters such as length or weight, and a greater control over the layers that are removed using the eraser tool. For more detailed results, please refer to our paper. Despite this, participants found the color tunneling highly beneficial, which promoted us to improve and refine the technique and merge the best aspects of the color tunneling and eraser technique in our third prototyping phase. Therefore, we placed our focus on the color tunneling technique, which, as previously mentioned, proved to be the most challenging for the participants. During this phase, we aim to make the interaction more sequential and familiar to the users, while also eliminating differences between left and right hands. Although this may slightly reduce time performance, it could potentially make the interactions more memorable and less confusing for the experts. In addition, based on the feedback received from the first user study, we have implemented a persistent mode that allows the user to exercise greater control over which layers are removed. It should be noted that, unlike the eraser tool, the area removed by the color tunneling is adjustable at any time after the layers have been removed. As requested by the participants, we implemented the lens measurement tool to allow them to measure body organs or external objects. We conducted a follow-up user study to assess the effectiveness of our refined techniques, but more importantly, to get feedback from the experts in a realistic scenario of this investigation. Participants found the new interaction for color tunneling easier to use and more memorable, and preferred the refined interactions. During the study, participants were asked to measure the length and penetration of the knife, the location relative to anatomical landmarks, as well as to measure several organs using all of the techniques. This is the last phase. After reviewing the whole task process, our key findings highlight that the system and technology allows experts to investigate the cause of death with MR, offers metaphors that are well suited to forensic activity, enables reproducible autopsies for documentation and teaching purposes, and can also augment physical autopsies with new MR visualization and analytical tools. To conclude, we conducted a user-centered design and evaluation, and we developed a variety of MR techniques for forensic autopsy. Forensic experts found our solution most useful for demonstrating and teaching forensic autopsy techniques, as well as facilitating remote collaboration and consultation. These techniques hold the potential for further expansion and application in various other medical contexts. Our findings also suggest that participants with limited XR experience struggle with ideating use cases and envisioning the potential of MR technology. Therefore, we advocate for alternatives to low-fidelity prototypes in the context of user-centered design for MR. You can find more details about our results and methodology in the paper. Our code and data are available on ASF. Thanks for your attention.